Like a young Michael Jackson.
And we're live.
Oh shit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pillar Talk podcast. I'm your host, T Rup, and I got a really good guest here today from Deliciously Dope TV. We got Rodney Lienhart. What's up, man?
Chef
What's up,
Rodney.
man?
Oh, Chef Rodney. Chef Daddy Rodney. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Oh shit, what to tell? You know, it's always that time when people ask you, "Hey, talk about yourself," and you're like, "I don't want to do that." You're like,
Yeah.
"I don't want to do that." I've been cooking professionally for 26 years. I started at a really young age. It sucked. I kind of missed out a lot of life, but you know, it is what it is. And then, yeah, became an alcoholic. Did a lot of coke. Dropped all of that. Started smoking weed, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, well, fuck, you know, what am I gonna do? And then I took a hit of a joint, and I was like, let's just put weed in food, and here I am.
Weed and food, bro. You ever try infusing the weed in food?
Yeah, that's what I do. That's
Oh, you do it
100%
really.
what I do.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you make?
That's where the term deliciously dope came from. People will see this later, but deliciously dope is this small little seed of an idea that's going to just turn into this huge Yaglacid of type of things, the tree of life, if you will. You know, it all started
Right.
from a seed, an idea. And so I had this crazy idea. I was like, screw it. You know, you see all these shows on cooking with cannabis. They're all competitions and this and that and the other. I want to tell the story that's not being told by both cannabis and food. And then when you mix those together, what people don't understand is you can actually manipulate the way that somebody feels based off of how you dose their food. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. That's fucking dope, man. Did they didn't teach you none of that in fucking chef school, did they?
Fuck no, they didn't. They told us they were. It was the whole like weird, war on drugs and dare and shit. Like if you got caught smoking weed, you got in a little bit of trouble. But at the same time, like they were like, hey, don't get caught. Everybody
Right.
in the restaurant industry, I don't care what you say, they smoke weed. That's not even a question. It's how and when. You know what I mean? If you're a professional chef, you start smoking weed before you go into work to wash dishes. Because let's face it, washing dishes blows. But
Right.
if you're high, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And then, if once you progress, you become a line cook, and you start tapering off the amount of weed that you smoke progressively through your career. And then as a chef, you really just smoke before work, on your way to work. Not on your way to work, but like before work, before you go to work, on your way to getting out the door, if you will. And then, like, when you get home, you're very responsible about it. Now that it's, like, I wouldn't say mainstream, but, legal here in Michigan, you just don't stop.
Right.
You're like, shit. This is
Yeah,
what
you
that's
just
like. All right, cool.
smoke at will.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's what it
And
is. And now they're fucking you can infuse it legally.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they have culinary arts schools that's about that. That's about it.
So it's coming. I mean, it's funny you should mention that. I actually want to get together with some people with Deliciously Dope TV as we're changing it from Deliciously Dope TV. That's still going to be a thing, but it's going to be inside this entire little network called Channel 117. Channel 117 is going to encompass like everything cannabis, everything cooking, everything.
It's the umbrella.
Exactly. It's destigmatizing, your life with cannabis. It's and cooking. Over the last 100 years, what a lot of people don't understand is that cannabis and cooking, alongside the two, have been bastardized and stigmatized to think this, and this. When I say chef, you think angry. You know what I mean? When I say Hell's Kitchen, you think, oh, it's Gordon Ramsay screaming at people. And that's my point. There's this toxic culture that's been given, this toxic stigma that's been given to cooking. Yo, it don't need to be like that. Where did that come from? You know what I mean? So we're trying to destigmatize both, industries here, if you will, both, heritages, both cooking and cannabis, and then, move forward. And it just so happens that if you eat pot brownies, they're fucking amazing.
Right. and usually when I'm pulling up at like a restaurant and shit, and you see the cook outside, the motherfucker's never happy.
No.
Motherfucker's never happy smoking a cigarette like it's his last cigarette.
Well, he probably bummed it off somebody, you know, where he's probably working his like third or fourth double in a row because let's face it, we got paid shit.
He's on his third day of cocaine for breakfast, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another line before I gotta go deal with these fucks.
It's like, okay, so if you have cocaine for breakfast, what do you have for dinner? Meth. You didn't even think you knew
More
you were waiting to say
cocaine,
that.
motherfucker, more cocaine.
Were you just waiting to scream cocaine? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
he was.
you know what I mean? Like,
That's all he was.
no, it was a rough life, man. Literally, like I never. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never had more than $10,000 in my bank account at one time. It's the closest I got to it. You know, shit would always happen, life would always happen, and it would just drop down. So, like, if you just it wasn't fun, man. You know, and then it's like there's times in your life where you're like, where the fuck is my next meal going to come from? I don't work for the next 2 days. You know, and you find yourself texting people going, hey, man, can I cover your shift, or do you really want, you know, just so you can go eat? Well, why don't you have fucking money? Da-da-da-da. A, you don't want to have to run to anybody and be like, hey, these are my problems, insert your solutions here. A. B, I didn't care about anything but working and drinking at that point in time. You know, I'm a young, dumb, and full of cum, man. I didn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
And that's really when, like, I decided, fuck it. I'm going to destroy my life. You know what I mean? And, I mean, I didn't really decide that, but that's just where it led. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And finally, you just sit back and you're like, how much more fucking cocaine and whiskey can my fucking body take? You know what I mean? And
Probably that much.
oh, it was, you know, it is what it is. And it's, so about 6 years ago, I stopped drinking, put it down. I struggled for like the first week. Like, you know, I said, I'm quitting. And then 3 days later, I relapsed. I don't know if you want to count that, but yeah, 100%. It is a nightmare in the industry. If anybody wants to hear my tirade about, you know, the pay raise thing, I'm just going to write an article.
Shirley says 100%, and then you got Grant over here. Heard all this. Yep.
Yeah. And so okay. So it's interesting because it's like, well, how do we do this? People are like, all right, spotlight's on you, fix it. How would you fix it? First and foremost, I would probably fix it by finishing rolling this joint and lighting it up and then just blowing smoke in your face and telling you to fuck off, but that's just me. How do you fix an industry that's literally hemorrhaging not only people, but mental health, toxicity? It's dying. How do you revitalize that? How do you go through and plug all of the little holes that have been poked into an industry, both industries, numerous times over numerous people, almost an infinity amount? How do you plug all those holes at once? Well, you start fucking swimming is really where you're at. You see what I'm saying? There's no point in going down with the ship. You figure out where you need to go, and you figure out, you pivot.
As Tool says, learn to swim.
Yeah, just keep swimming, bitch. I mean, it's sad that Ellen lost her show. That sucks, but at the same time, that little fish wasn't lying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, you know, when COVID happened, everybody was just, yo, dine-in became illegal overnight. Yep. I never thought I'd be able to say that in my life. Dine-in became illegal overnight. What I mean by illegal is you probably shouldn't go out with a mask. You get the point. And then dine-in in Michigan, non-existent.
Yeah,
right.
So,
exactly.
I'm getting a phone call.
First rule of podcasting.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. But it's like,
at least it wasn't T-Rup this time.
oh, right. No, he didn't know. To be fair, he didn't know. You know what's really funny? That's my buddy that knows Mike Tyson. Just go.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, so then COVID hit. What's a chef to do? You know, what's a chef going to do? You're like, oh, I'm going to go work. So what happens when you catch COVID and die? There's that. You get replaced in 10 minutes.
Yep.
You get owners going, oh, he didn't want to work hard enough. What the fuck do you mean he didn't want to work hard enough? He caught COVID because you needed him here and he died. And you don't give a shit. Fuck off. Move. You know, that's my point. Those people are crying because they're losing their restaurants right now. go fuck yourself. Because think about it. If somebody drops on the line, they have to be filled. That's your idea. If you don't have the parts in the engine, just keep going.
Next one up.
That's unacceptable.
Yep.
That's unacceptable.
See, I know.
Well, here's the issue. If we're going to talk that way, okay, so you don't have to deal with that if you're your own boss, if you are your own entrepreneur, if you have your own restaurant. You know, it's that life of having to be somebody else's servant.
Correct. So
and they don't give a shit about it.
That's what makes us unhappy, because you love cooking, right? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah.
But it's having to cook for ungrateful bosses.
You know, I could do it though. Hang on though. I could do it though if the money were right. We do cook for ungrateful bosses all the fucking time when the money is right. You see my point?
Yep.
Let me ask you this right now. Let me just mic drop this shit real fast without the fucking feedback. How much is an hour of your life worth to you?
I just said that to somebody else today.
That's my point. And so now, did you know that in certain parts of the United States and the world, a chef, a cook, is not considered a skilled trade?
Which is crazy.
If you go to a community college or any kind of fucking college, you can get a degree in culinary, no problem. They have no problem taking your fucking money, but it's not considered a skilled trade. So what the actual fuck?
See, I think it depends. Once you get to a certain level, I completely agree with you. Just your random cook at the bar or whatever. That hasn't been to school, or even you could
like me. It's a whole different.
You could have not been to school, and you're a fire ass chef, and I'll still give you that credit.
Yep.
But there's a difference between somebody cooking at McDonald's or cooking 100%. At Wendy's than fucking a chef.
Yeah, the difference is people from McDonald's use convenience.
Chef is an art form. Being, that's like being called an artist. You're an artist at that point. You're a professional food artist.
Culinary arts.
I like the term food orgasmer better, but that'll work.
Well, dude, you can do some food porn and throw it on me, bro, and I'll make people orgasm for sure.
I'll turn you into a sushi board,
dude.
I don't know about that,
dude. I'm not a fucking fish guy, bro. Smallest little shrimp.
You just got that one. That was a creeper.
I was waiting for it. I knew it landed.
Oh man!
So being a chef. Sorry, I'm trying to pack this wedding cake into this joint, guys. Being a chef right now is kind of like what the actual fuck. Like I get this question all the time. But well, you don't cook in a kitchen, aren't you lost? Yeah. Thanks for pointing out my anxiety. Or you know, are you going to go? Like I get a lot of questions that have nothing to do. Like when a person asks you a question, you can already tell that they don't really give a shit. You know, exactly, Grant. 18 years stress, 13. Exactly. I want to be real with somebody. Like, okay, this is what people are going to have to expect from this. This is what's going to happen. Period. Prices are going to go up because right now we're on the cusp of a failed capitalistic government. You see my point? So it's like, what do you do then? It is what it is. So right now, the people that, honestly, to tell you the truth, I kind of appreciate this, but the people that karmically don't deserve to have their own restaurant are losing their own restaurant. Well, it was I don't give a flying fuck. If you can't pay somebody a livable wage and give them a halfway decent work-to-life ratio, not to mention, like, just appreciate them and not replace them in a drop of a fucking dime, then I really don't feel bad for you.
That's the truth.
At the same time, there's a lot of people who played the fucking system and got numerous triple P loans and are sitting on fat sets of cash, just slave drivers that don't give a flying fuck about their workers and said, well, why won't anybody come work in a pandemic, for $14, $15 an hour for me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe because you suck.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like
there's people that I'll go work for less money than other people because of that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you want me to come work for you, it's going to cost a little bit more than me working for my buddy over here. I'll tell you
exactly. On top of which, like, dude, it's a pandemic. Like I was saying earlier, there have been people that at the beginning of this thing went out, they were just doing their fucking job, and they died because they contracted COVID.
Yep.
and that's my point. And then, if the vaccine wasn't free, they wouldn't have been able to get it. You feel me? Like, that's not okay. Let's talk about healthcare, and so it's like, everything is going to have to go up for the economy to survive. Okay, I'm good with you paying everybody a minimum of $20 an hour. $20 an hour in the industry, and then fucking, you know what I'm saying, and charging more for the customer. You need to charge your customers more. Fuck those ungrateful little bastards.
Dude, I gotta see. You're talking about
Well,
all the negatives of it, and I'm talking, and I know somebody that he just got a head chef position, and he's been kicking ass, and the owners of the store are noticing it, and they're actually giving him stuff. He's already
That's a whole different story.
Yeah, they're good owners.
Yeah, he worked his way.
Yeah.
He worked his way to getting his health benefits from work. So he's in there, and every day he goes into work, he comes in there, and I know him personally, but I know the people that own the business too.
Right.
And he comes in there every day, and he says, "What's up, guys? Power of positivity. Let's get this fucking shit cracking." Yep. And that's just because he's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
That's because he knows that he's taken care of. He's not struggling out here.
And that's
if he was like, hey, if he came to work and he was like, hey, listen, I worked 90 hours this week. I need you guys to, can I borrow some money to cover a bill? They're like, yo, here you go. They'll rack him out.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
And he likes to work
the owner's hands, really.
He likes to work longer hours because he likes being there.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what else do I got to do, bro? I'll be sitting at home doing nothing, or I can come in here and fucking just have fun. He says he just sits back there, listens to music. Since he's happy, everybody that's in there works happy,
Well, and that's the thing. Working in a kitchen, I've worked in a kitchen, and when the cook is when the chef is pissed off, everything's off.
Yep.
Everything's off. The whole kitchen's like,
turn off my fucking timers.
It's like, what the fuck? You can feel it in the atmosphere when chef is fucking
you can just
pissed.
feel the vibe.
It's like, okay, nobody say anything wrong or else he's gonna fucking explode. Just please don't come in here. Just please don't come in here with an error.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's an issue. When you feel like that, we have an issue. Like, maybe sometimes it's the stress of the job. Okay, I'll get that. Being a chef is way more stressful than people give it credit for.
That's a lot of stress.
It really is. I've never been a chef, but I've seen somebody that's been a high-end chef.
I watched someone die right next to me while cooking.
Ooh, are you sure it wasn't drugs?
No, he had a coke problem, but it wasn't. He was trying to be clean, but he had a drinking problem nobody knew about. So, long story short, he's an older guy. He was running expo. I was the saucier, basically. Like, I just put sauces on plates and kind of helped him plate them, and so it was like an additional expo. Really, was the term he gave it, but he was right in the window. It was a Friday night. It was just fucking packed wall to wall people. Everything was, the music was right, the mood was right, everything was, right for this perfect storm, really, in a sense. And I remember in the middle of the rush, he was just like sweating profusely, and he didn't really sweat that much, you know what I mean? And which was weird because for a bigger guy, he didn't really sweat that much. And that night it was like he just got out of the shower, man. Like, he was fucking soaking wet. And all of a sudden I just, 1 minute he's yelling, screaming. I hear clink, 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 everything in the kitchen. The next thing, all of a sudden, it was like all the sound, like, grabbed the side of the wall, just like that. And I looked over, and it's like I saw the last lub-dub of his heart, and he looked like, just locked eyes with me. And, like, he just went down. And as he went down, like, he started, like, I wouldn't say, like, turning white, but, like, you could see, like, the life leaving him. And so then I was like, I literally screamed, "Chef, down. I mean, what do you do?" And so, like, I remember I took my apron off and I started getting down, and like I'm like shaking him. I didn't know what to do. What the, yeah, I know first aid, but you don't know what the problem is. And so like I'm trying to be like, yo, dude, what the fuck's going on? Like, what's going on? His fucking heart blew up. Literally had his heart exploded. He had the Widowmaker, where all of your arteries just go, and it finally gave out, and he dropped dead. And so that fucks you up.
The stress fucking killed him, bro. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's a crazy thing for everybody to fucking see. Like anybody who was working in there has something to say about that story.
You know what the fuck
they
part
feel
was?
some type of way. What's up?
They fired me over it.
Over killing a chef?
They didn't say that. Obviously we needed time, man. Chef was a good dude, and we all wanted to go to the funeral. They said certain people could go, so 3 people quit and went to the funeral. I said fuck you. Yeah. I'm going to the funeral. You're not. Come on.
I'd have said fuck you too.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Like, and that's what I advocate. Honestly, I've quit more jobs than I'm fucking. I've quit more jobs than I am proud of the other ones I had. All of them cooking, all of them different styles, all of them training me. A lot of people are like, well, what did you, you just give up? I really, no, I don't. That's the thing. I'm very good under pressure. I'm very good under stress. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, but I won't be talked down to. Okay? I know people that are 10 times the amount of these people yelling at me, and the name calling and the competition. Like, fuck, dude. If you're really wanting to measure dicks, go ahead and whip yours out. You win. Have fun. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's not about that. It's about the fucking trying to get that toxicity. I never thought of that was in a kitchen. I never worked in a kitchen. I never thought it was that fucking toxic.
Toxicity exists because of the manipulation of time and the demand for that. For example, everything is convenient. Okay, let me ask you this: you go to a restaurant and you learn about this restaurant that can cook the most beautiful, well-done steak ever in 15 minutes. Then you hear another restaurant that can do it in 7 minutes. Which one are you going to go to?
The 7-minute one.
Why?
Because I got that shit right now. I'm hungry, motherfucker.
Instant gratification.
Yep.
Right.
So, once we learn how to manipulate these things and bastardize cooking and we take the most common ingredient in every source of food. It tells you how long to cook it, right? Time is the universal ingredient. We've manipulated that main ingredient. And so people are like, oh, you've created this. No, you've bastardized and ruined fucking cooking. That's what happened. Real talk. You know what's really funny? If you kind of smoke a little weed, time tends to slow down, don't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grant has a question for you, Rodney. Are you left-handed?
No. No. Unless I'm playing Stranger Danger. But that's a me, myself, and I game. Only us 3 can play.
Yeah. Where you sit on your hand?
I play that with real strangers. It's just, my typical.
What do you do?
I learned not to because they usually have really just terrible. Yo, if strangers are gonna give out candy again, yo, you gotta step your game up. I'm a king size boy now.
No, T-Rup goes around and asks them if they'll take him. Will you please take me home with you?
Yeah.
He walks up. Y'all want a party?
I ask him first if they'll be my dad.
Yeah. Are you my dad?
I ask him, like, if you are, then what are we doing? I'm lost. Like, where have you been?
I look at it this way. So that's a whole nother fucking can of worms. But I don't believe everything. Like in that kind of situation, like as far as like child support in the front of the courts and like bad dads and bad moms, I don't think it's just dads that are deadbeats. That I want to make that point clear right here. Aside from that, I don't know about that situation. I can't speak on that, but I do know some really good dads that have been kept from their kids for some bullshit. You feel me? So
yeah, it's the way the cookie crumbles, dude. Michigan's a woman's state.
Grant said you're very similar to him, past and present. Very interesting to hear same shit from somebody else.
That's why I'm writing a book.
Who you writing?
Why Restaurant?
Ooh. Let's talk about that. How far are you into that?
8-9 chapters done.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you got to send it off to the editor, and I
Is
go
it
back
just
and forth.
is it you ranting for fucking 9 chapters?
Yeah.
Basically,
Yes, I like
he
that.
says, "Yeah."
I'm reading it. I'm reading that shit as soon as it comes out.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. I'll make sure I
Dude,
get you one. But
I
like,
pulled up some weird questions for you that I
Let's do
want to ask you personally.
let's do it.
What makes you unique?
There ain't nobody else like me. Though similar, you have to understand that every perspective is that one view that the one view we wish we could see. You understand? So everybody out here is worried about, oh, dude, this video got this many views, or this video and this, and I got followers and da-da-da. The one perspective that we want to see is the world through someone else's eyes. You understand? I would always, so we can look in the mirror all day long, hate that person, love that person, doesn't matter. But we'll never know how another person perceives us or sees us if we don't see it from their eyes. You see what I'm saying? You can sit here and talk, and you can be like, oh, he's a jackass. You can assume all these different things. However, if you add a little bit more time to it, the longer you learn, you're like, oh, no, shit, okay, fuck, that's a flavor you got to stretch out. It's a little bit, salty, concentrated, but otherwise it's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So-
T-Rep. He's real fucking strong in the beginning, but once you get to know him, he's like, oh, I feel like I've known you forever.
It tastes pretty good, you know?
It's a little spicy at first, but it warms you up.
Okay, so with that being said, like based on your personality, what animal would you be in the animal kingdom?
Oh, fuck. I knew there was going to be an animal question. I want to be cliche, and because of my heritage, say like a raven or a wolf, but I'm not going to.
But a raven or a wolf.
Cuttlefish.
A
Cuttlefish.
cuttlefish?
Cuttlefish.
Ooh, that's very dangerous.
Mhm.
Very, very dangerous.
But
Do you
it's
know how
your
to
name.
cut? Do you know how to a cute name but very dangerous?
It's like,
I
Cuttle,
like
what's
that.
up? I'm a cuttlefish. I might kill you.
Yeah, I might kill you. Do you know how to cook one of those?
No. I'm sure, like, see, and a lot of people ask, they're like, oh, you're a chef, so you know how to cook everything. That's not fucking true.
No,
Like,
you're in a specific cuisine.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you specialize in?
It's Nouvelle cuisine, French.
Okay.
Oof, what's
Like
the
French,
weirdest?
kind of modern.
What's the weirdest thing you ever cooked, or what's like the most proudest thing you are
Which one? Weirdest or proudest?
proud? Yeah, well, what makes you proudest? The best thing you can cook.
See, a lot of people are like, what is your favorite thing to cook? And the answer to that for a chef is anything I don't have to. But my favorite dish to cook.
If we put you in a contest and we said you cook whatever speaks to Chef Rodney, what would you enter into that contest?
Most likely a duck à l'orange.
Ooh.
Okay, now explain. Let my mind know.
Let me close my eyes and just think about this
Now,
glow.
let me
want
taste
you to
it. I want to taste this
You
now.
got to do it the right way. Okay, so first and foremost, you got to get a nice like fire hearth. You feel me? Like a nice warm hearth. All right. Listen, when you put your palms up to the fire to see if it's just right to cook for it, you've already got your hanger there. You're going to hang this rope from it. Your rope is soaking into some olive oil, your butcher's twine. That's what you're going to use to tie the duck up after you marinate it with your spices. You're really looking for a citrus pull through on this with a little bit, an undertone. I'm talking a subtle hint. Anything more is a fucking cardinal sin, but a subtle hint of cloves. A subtle hint. I actually add a little bit of cardamom to mine, and then I put a little bit of pepper and a little bit of red peppers and black peppers on the back for a little bit of a heat, but a bite note. But that's just me. That being said, you create your sauce, the very citrus sauce, and you coat your duck, and you hang it to cook over this hearth. Watch it ever so slightly so that there's no flare-ups and things of that nature, and that it cooks evenly. When you are done cooking, you let it cool, you cut off the butcher's twine, and then you break it down. You take the rest of your sauce and you coat over that and do it. I don't know, some kind of bullshit risotto. I don't know. Make sure you make it right though, because here's the thing: anything out of a box risotto is absolute fucking garbage. You might as well just eat the fucking box it came in. The point is, make a good risotto, serve it on a plate. Honestly, I make a good risotto and I add in a parsnip puree to thicken it up a little bit, to give it some oomph and give it that fucking bite at the end. You do that, stack it over it, some neatly, I would say flame broiled or grilled or hearth fried, if you will, some fucking asparagus. Call it a day.
Now,
is it weird that I have a boner?
Would this meal be infused?
Oh, you could add wheat to that.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Could you
I
do?
literally add wheat.
Would have you blowed out
in this
your
drink.
mind by the time you were done eating?
No, actually. So it all depends on how you dose it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're used to taking, weed and shoving it in brownies and, see what happens. But when you understand the ensemble effect, boys, it's no longer called the entourage effect. People need to correct themselves. It's the ensemble effect. I can source that. I'll send you to Adam Brooks, and he'll tell you what it is. Mr. Hashbash himself. He's like, no. Sit down. The ensemble effect would mean that it's all of the cannabinoids at once instead of just one. You see what I'm saying? So it's the full orchestra of cannabinoids, which is the truth because of terpenes. So terpenes are smells and flavors, flavonoids, if you will, in foods and cannabis and everything else that allow us to, which controls, allows us to, so terpenes allow us for the absorption of cannabinoids through the endocannabinoid system, the ECS that everybody has. If you know the neurological system with axons and dendrites and acetylcholine, then guess what? You know the endocannabinoid system. Congratulations. It exists, it ain't going nowhere, and quite honestly, it's the coolest fucking thing on the planet. Depending on the strain and the dosage, you see what I'm saying? If I were to sit down and make you a duck à l'orange, I would dose your meal at 10 to 15 milligrams of THC, and then I would dose something else at 100 milligrams of CBD, or the same thing. In which case, both of them would hit you at the same time, so you're going to have the undertone and the safety net of the CBD, and you're going to chill right there with no anxiety, and then you're going to have the THC right there, and you're going to be nice and chill and balanced. You're going to be perfectly fucked, but comfortable.
Perfectly fucking comfortable.
And that tastes delicious.
Oh, and that's great.
Yep.
How would you? What would you?
I like the taste of that.
How would you infuse?
You put that in my mind perfectly.
How would you infuse the
orange?
No, the tea. Yeah.
I mean, the olive oil that you're using to soak. You just use the olive oil. So basically, what you would do. You basically make a tincture out of olive oil, which is also known as a FICO, which is a full extract cannabis oil, instead of an RSO, which is Rick Simpson oil, which the only difference there is one uses alcohol, the other one doesn't. The FICO in this case would be the olive oil. Take that olive oil and properly, dose that so that each meter dose equals, 10 milligrams. And either lay it over the top of the food or just mix it in, with the sauce. But if you mix it in with the sauce, you have to make sure you dose out. Each person gets this much sauce. I would just lay it over the top of the duck. And here's the cool thing. The duck's not going to be stupid hot. Anything. It shouldn't be over anything of 150 degrees palatable. Internal temperature depends on, how you want your duck. Yes, you can eat. Yeah.
It says shove it up
the duck's ass.
Shove an ounce up
that actually wouldn't do anything. You would be wasting more weed if you did that. You want to decarboxylate it first because that's when you're really going to get it there. But at the same time, to tell you the truth, if you decarboxylated it first and you shoved it into the cavity and you're able to close the cavity and threw a bunch of butter in there,
yeah, just throw it in a cavity. That's all you got to do, bro.
That's not a bad idea. But at the same time, you would have to decarboxylate it first, okay? Decarboxylating is activating the THC.
What you got to do? Just smack it away?
Well, so you bring it up to a certain temperature, and then it kind of, exfoliates it a little bit.
Oh. Yep. Exfoliation of that. Dude, you're going to fucking exfoliate that duck so I can suck on it?
You're going to exfoliate this dick.
Hey, drink all that sauce on that fucking plate right there. You'd be fucked up. slurp it.
I used to love working in restaurants. Whack crack. There you go. Whack quack. I used to love working in restaurants down in near Detroit because they're just like, "Yo, what up, D? D's nuts!" It's just every single time, without. Here's the thing: if you worked in one kitchen, you can literally seamlessly just kind of walk into the other one and speak the language and get along fine.
I've noticed that a lot of them look the same.
Yeah.
There's a
that's
flat
the thing.
top grill, a mean dude in there. There's
Yep.
always a mean dude.
Yep. Always.
No, there's always like a young dishwasher,
Mhm.
young
But
kid.
notice the
Well, either a
successful
young dishwasher
restaurants-
or an old dishwasher.
Oh, I watched a dish. So
Either way, they
I
wear
worked
beanies.
at a restaurant here locally, here near in Lansing, and I had left the restaurant for some circumstances that I won't talk about. I don't really want to publicly shame that person, but the person is a dick. Anyways, so I was like, look, listen, you want to be a dick? Be a dick. I'm not going to be a dick around you. So I took off. Literally about a month after I left, one of my most favorite coworkers was this old man named James. And he was like 75 years old. Mentally gone. Just gone. He died. Like, that sucked, man. Like, I remember yelling at this guy once. Like, I wasn't okay with that. You know, I was in a really bad spot. But at the same time, like, fuck, I wish I could go back and say I'm sorry. You know, and it's shit like that carries with you. You know, I should have never left that place. Would it have been harder if I didn't leave? I don't know. I can't think like that anymore. I can't worry about the closure because closure itself is caustic, boys. You know, when you keep looking for closure and things, you're not moving forward as you should. Let go of shit. If it doesn't serve you anymore, let go. You remember those hippie holistic people saying if it doesn't no longer serves you, let it go. Yeah,
Holy shit.
That's what I do now. Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I just thought of stuff.
Took me 30 years to figure that one out, but I got you.
That made me just think of something.
What?
I'm constantly fucking looking for closure on the motorcycle accident, on how the fuck how the fuck it happened, and I want to just go back and relive it. And you're right, it don't serve me anymore.
Right.
Nope.
So why the fuck should I? Why am I even worried about
Why
it?
do you even care at that
Yeah,
point?
what the fuck am I even worried?
It doesn't matter. It's happened.
What's happening is this.
You can't
You're
change.
creating an imposter syndrome due to PTSD. It's all part of PTSD. Imposter syndrome, basically, I'm never going to be good enough. I'll never amount to this. X, Y, and Z. You get the idea.
Oh.
It's self-defeating. Yeah.
I don't deserve these things.
Exactly.
My therapist hit me with that this week, actually.
Mm-hmm. So there's an easy way around that. Do you like time travel?
Me?
We love time travel.
I've never done it.
So it's
I
interesting.
would
because
love to do it.
as a quantum, as quantum physicists, the scientists and stuff like that, they're worried about time travel and altering the Higgs boson so they can actually take the physicality of us and send it through walls and through time and all of that. Well, here's the great thing. We can time travel, and I'll prove it thusly. I can actually put you at any point in time as long as I describe the memory. I can describe 1964, or whatever, blah, 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 and you're there. Boom, there it is. Okay.
I mean, you just took me to your Doug Bluzon or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I was right in the middle of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Doug Orange.
Doug Orange. But yeah, so it's like, we can do that. We can also manipulate those memories. Now, we're the only animal where a previous PTSD is where it comes in. Memory can hurt us emotionally because we can't let go of it. You understand? A dog's trained to be mean or it's trained to be nice. A tiger either eats or it doesn't. Nature has these way of things, yet we're cognitive. Okay? And cognitive dissonance is something that's running fucking rampant in our people our ages. You want to know why? Because our generation is now declared officially poorer than our previous generations in the first time ever. A lot of people will, fucking deny this and say, no. Yo, numbers don't lie. Okay? History don't lie. The fact that you can't fucking accept it proves it. You know what I mean? That's the point. Okay? Millennials can't grow the fuck up. Sorry. You want to know why? I can't afford a house by myself. I can't afford to go to college. It's funny because back then, college wasn't the price that it was now. You had to work 366 hours or 409 hours, depending on where you wanted to go, to be able to pay for your college. My dog's saying hi to somebody. Nowadays, you got to work 4,500 hours. Are you fucking kidding me? That doesn't even take into account all of the other bills that you got. And child support probably wasn't a thing back then. It probably was, but the point is, it wasn't as bad. You understand? So with inflation, everything else grew. Why didn't wages? All right? Not to mention, if you're going to come into, if you're going to fuck something up, don't pass it broken. Fix that shit first.
It almost seems like it's like forcing into poverty. Forcing
that's
people
exactly what it is. While that generation just continues to collect the wealth. They didn't want to, let go. That's the problem. They can't let go. Notice every single person of that generation is narcissistic as shit, manipulative as fuck, and a micromanager that probably would suck a dick sideways from non-refundable pop cans.
I would love that. The price of aluminum's up, bro.
They're non-refundable.
Oh, well, price of aluminum's up, dude. I'll find a way to sell them.
Well, you can sell aluminum.
I've got that aluminium. I'll have that. Okay. You know what I mean?
Them cans ain't returnable, but if you smush them all into a big cube, it is.
Yeah, so I'll tell about that motherfucker. What?
Listen, there's enough injustice in the world, okay? There's enough bullshit this and bullshit that. What there isn't enough of are good people doing a good thing because, real talk, they fucking love doing it. End of story.
Yeah.
All right? Now, exactly. I want to take you guys back. Thanks, Shirley. I appreciate it. I want to take you guys back to 2018. 2018 was a tragic fucking year for me. In the summer, we lost Anthony Bourdain. In the fucking... On my daughter's birthday, my mother died. Well, fuck. That's... Shit, who'd I piss off, right? But at the same time, I'm going to use poetic justice in this case, hence the shirt here, to point out the duality of the situation. Amongst this devastating year, somehow I was able to move past it. I can't dwell on it. I can note it. I can note it in time for its relevance, but I can't dwell on it emotionally. I do pull inspiration from it, but it no longer... I can't do anything about it. I can't take it back. I can't bring her back.
Yeah.
There's this law where you actually have to watch the body being burned. Like, that, there's a law. Do you know that with cremating? Somebody has to watch the body and identify it as it's going into the kiln. I watched them light my mom on fire. That's fucked. You know what I mean? And so it's all of these emotions that I had to learn to let go of. It took me a few years, a lot of weed, a lot more failing. Yeah. But then I decided, write a book. Bourdain would have done that. And then I was like, yo, how do they cook, food around the world? I know how they do it. I can cook some of the recipes. All right, cool. What happens when we put weed in it, though? So that's just it. I want to travel the world cooking these dishes and just putting weed in them while talking about weed culture that nobody fucking knows about because you don't live in Thailand. You know what I mean?
I want to travel the world and eat the food that's there.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's been my dream. If I could have one dream life, that life would be to travel, eat the food from where I'm traveling from.
Then do it.
Yep.
That's just it.
Traveling too.
I've learned, man, going back to the beginning of this whole thing, how much is an hour of your life worth?
Me, I can't honestly, I can't put a price on it because I think how hard I fought to have this life, I fucking think it's very valuable.
So let me ask you this, okay? If money were no option, or no object, all right, you're instantly rich overnight, infinite amount of money, blah 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 blah. What's the first thing you do?
No amount of money at all.
No, I'm talking like you look at your
doesn't
bank
matter.
as you're looking at it, it just keeps growing. It's an infinite. You
First,
the cheat code.
Okay.
I'm spreading the love. I'm gonna bring everybody together. I'm gonna, hey, if you just love everybody else, I'll give you as much money as you need.
Okay.
But then greed.
Josh, what about you?
Well, first I'm gonna take care of me and mine, and then from there, I'm gonna fucking spread the fucking love. what I always said is, okay, so you know who Mr. Beast is, you know how he gives away lots of stuff and lots of money. Well, that's kind of how I would be, but I would be like giving away houses and fucking giving away cars and giving away like shit people need.
You won't believe me when I tell you what I do.
What'd you do?
Not light my.
Not light this lighter. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, first thing you would need to do is go buy a lighter.
That's one thing. Off rip, 98 cents.
So, pull up my phone. I'd like, oh, look at that. That's cool. Just continue living my fucking life. I would probably just assume that it was some kind of glitch. I'd probably feel bad because it's like, oh shit, I'm taking somebody else's money that I didn't earn myself. I mean, and then I would be like, all right, cool. Well, here, everybody, gets a good Chris. Like, I would eventually go away if it was real. But at the same time, it would change things around me, but it wouldn't change me.
Correct.
I've grown my entire life with fucking no money, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, in my fucking mid-30s, I'm just supposed to, like, be able to be a tax-paying citizen of society. I got a mouthful of dental problems I want to get rid of. I got some fucking artwork. I have more tattoos. I'm kind of fucking, jealous of T-Rup over here with this beautiful fucking, ink work and shit. But at the same time, like, I mean, I'm getting there. I've got some, but at the same time, I want more. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's an addiction. Let me have. I ain't heard nobody.
CJ Bucks, dude, does all my shit.
We'll talk after the show, but my point is, like, living in America ain't really free. It's not the land of the free.
It ain't never been free.
Nah, it really ain't. But, like, I will tell you this. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can and can't do. What I mean by that is this.
She would open up a treatment care center.
Do it. Take care of mom. Yeah, exactly. Well, I can't really take care of mom. My mom's gone.
I'd buy a bus too. That'd be a cool fucking travel around and fucking, yeah, that's the life right there.
Doing whatever the fuck.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things that I would do, but it would take me a very long time to really believe that it was real. I would just continue living my life. Here's the thing. Yeah, you can go buy a Maserati. Yeah, you can go to, you could live in Dubai where, like, you wipe your ass with $100 bills. But really, at the end of the day, it's just money.
If I was a millionaire, I wouldn't even want a big house or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
I'd want a normal size house with a lot of land and a pond and shit like that.
My dream is to live in a shed.
And then from there on out, like real life, what would I do with this money? Right. I would now make sure all the kids can go to school. Okay. And then from there out, I help other people that are close to me. And then from there out, I help
really
other
fucking cool about a local restaurant that I'm really proud of.
That's the only thing money would do for me.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, obviously you have, like, school debt, school lunches. The school was still going on, right? There's a lot of kids who were sent to school because their parents had to go to work X, Y, and Z, right?
Yep.
Saddleback Barbecue has 2 locations here in Lansing. They actually went to specific schools and paid off the entire debts.
That's what's up.
That's fucking cool.
Yep. What was that?
In the middle of the pandemic. Saddleback Barbecue.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But
cheers.
The point is, like, exactly. And seriously, I'll bring you guys some. I'll bring you some. That's good.
T-Rub doesn't like barbecue, but I do.
I don't.
So. Trust me, T-Rub, this will change your mind.
I just don't like barbecue sauce.
No,
he doesn't like sauce.
They got more. It's a dry rub that they smoke into it, dog.
That's different. That's completely different.
That's a whole nother bar game, dude. I'll split that shit. I'll eat that shit like it was the last meal.
Oh, dude, not even. Not even. It's your last meal you're ever going to eat continually for the rest of your life. My point is, though, like, I've definitely changed the way that I've thought over the last few years, for sure. I'm sober. A lot of people say, you're California sober, bro. Well, maybe accentuate, the inflection at the end of your sentences a little bit more because it sounds like you're from the fucking valley, but we won't talk about that. The point is, I am sober. I know my limits. I'm not a drinker except for when you put fucking THC into shit. That shit's amazing. No booze for me though. That's called a life choice. So when I'm like, yo, let's smoke this, and everybody's like, oh, I don't smoke. We're like, all right, cool, no big deal, right? That's what people do, right? You're like, all right, no, let's go. You mind if we? No, go ahead. Cool, we'll give you that contact. No big deal, right? No big deal. Someone's like, yo, shots, and you're like, I don't drink. What the? Why don't you drink? Instant reaction. Why is that?
Programming.
Exactly. You want to know why? Advertising, dog. And being told that, yo, it's cool to go to the bar after work. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's cool to be an alcoholic. My mom is. That's not acceptable.
Why don't they make weed bars, dude?
Well, now
That's
they're going to start.
Lounge, and they have them.
Yeah.
Consumption lounge?
Mm-hmm.
Don't call it that stupid shit. Just call it the bud room.
There's one in Detroit called the Weed Bar.
The weed bar?
There you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude. You got my service. Whoever did that.
There's the Weed Bar in Detroit. In Flint, there's Vehicle City Social Club. That was really cool. I know in Grand Rapids there's one that's called like the Compassion Club or West Coast Compassion Club or something like that.
Cute.
And I know there's a bunch more coming. So
nice. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Like, what
really
if there
cool.
was?
I'm actually going to open a restaurant.
Open a restaurant?
What do you?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What are you gonna be cooking? French cuisine?
Probably. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I do know that's going to be infused. And I do know that it's not open to the public.
Not open to the public?
No.
Only certain people?
So the way that you
Pay to play?
Yes.
Yes, I like that.
I don't accept cash. Don't do it. Mm-mm.
Bitcoin?
Nope. Not Dogecoin. Well, maybe Dogecoin, but...
What about Moon? Safe Moon?
Maybe. I don't know yet. The point is, you have to buy the ticket online. And once you buy a ticket online, you'll get, your confirmation code and stuff like that. That'll send you a QR code. You're not getting into my fucking restaurant without that. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens. And it's going to be, it's going to be a food club. It's going to be weed. It's going to be completely fine. It's not open to the public. And I'm not distributing anything. It's a club. We just so happen to smoke and eat weed here.
I enjoy that. I'm cool with it.
I think Grand Rapids needs one. So I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I think it's going to
I think every city in the world needs one.
Oh, 100%. But we'll get there.
Make life a lot easier, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You ever go to the bars? Them fucking drunks at the bar, bro, suck, dude.
Well, there's if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. It don't matter,
Yeah, assholes are assholes.
Drunks, just being drunk will make you more of an asshole.
Makes you more quick to be an asshole.
Yeah.
I was an angry drunk. I'd start a fight with you, no problem. Growing up, I always had this thing: no women, no kids. A woman could beat me all she wants. I ain't gonna do shit about it. You know what I mean? Probably throw something at her and try and get away. And a kid can do the same thing. Just don't fucking hit me in the nuts. You know what I'm saying? You little shit.
Right.
Like, restraining is one thing, but these women beaters and fucking no, it's not okay. And fucking. But if you were, here's the thing, T-Rup, I love you, man. But if we were drunk and we were in the bar, you'd be the first person I'd fucking want to fight.
Because I'm the big guy.
Exactly.
I fucking hate that, dude.
I know. I'm sorry.
Like, bro, chill.
It's what it was, though. Exactly. But that was.
Let me pet your cat.
I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm gonna add 2 more whiskeys and we'll call it a day. But Here's the thing: like, I always felt that I had to compete because I was the middle child. My brothers could do no wrong, and I was the black sheep. Man, it sucked. Yet at the same time, like, no one followed my mom's footsteps. You feel me? So my mom we were on a different level because we lived a different lifestyle. My dad would be like, "Why the fuck are you guys taking a shower at 9:00 at night?" And I was like, "Because this is normally when we would get home." You know what I mean? Like, it's just 1:00 at night. It was weird. There's a lot of times when my mom was alive, she would call me after work. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, "Hey, how was shift? All those." And she would want to live vicariously through me. She missed it, man. I know she did. But at the same time, she would always follow it up with like, "Yo, you got any smoke?" Fuck, Mom, I just got out of work. But
Mom, chill.
That's what it is. I gotta get me one of them brain jerk fucking entertainment flags. Those are cool as shit.
That's a big one, ain't it?
It's a big one.
It's like the first thing we got merch. The first thing that we got. I don't know, dude. Josh came and said, "I'm getting a flag," and I said, "What?" And then a couple weeks later, I was like, "Holy shit! This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Right? You know, they have neon lights too. You should check those out. Those are expensive as shit, though.
Turn them on to Rolly. Like,
What? Don't. Oh, those are sweet.
yeah,
Those are real cool. Those are those rope lights.
keep them rolling.
Yeah, they're rope
Yeah.
lights. And you can even set it up
Started.
to like some noise and shit. So when your music's going, yeah, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Love it.
Yep.
That's really cool. I don't know, man. Like, I do want to start a restaurant. That's really cool. You know, the show is pretty cool. I just want to, like, not have to worry about money. And so I just didn't. And it's interesting because, no bullshit, the moment that I stopped worrying about money is the moment that I started making more. You know?
Yeah, that can't
That's
be
what
the
it
main
is.
factor. It's just got to be do what you love and
Mhm.
build the bridge, and people will cross it.
That's just it. You know, it's what was that? The bench warmers? If you build it, they will come. Probably. You know,
Yeah.
that's cool. But at the same time, like, this
Just be
kind of,
yourself.
you know, career choice, right? This kind of career choice, like, I would have never met some of the people that I've, you know, been able to, like, people call me and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm about to cook this." I'm like, "That's great. You're a professional actor. Why are you asking me?" They're like, "You're a chef, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but why are you asking me?" Like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything to barter with, like, you know. But no, that's cool. I usually help them out. They're really appreciative of it. But it's like, I know, you know, I met Jacob Rolfe, also known as Jacob Collins from Trailer Park Boys. I watched this guy for 20 years on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty prestigious, like, you know, fucking well-known actor. Like, everybody knows him. And then fucking, he's always calling me going, you know, "What's going on?" You know, and I just wants to smoke a joint. I'm like, "Let's go, man. You know, let's fucking do it."
What's the deal?
Exactly. Yeah.
I got a cool question. Okay, you're the one that can speak to this other alien race. You are the main
Translator.
translator. So and it has to be your words. What are you telling them? If you can
You're
communicate.
speaking for the whole world at this point.
How high am I? Because that matters.
Medium spice level.
No, dude, you just cranked out fucking
Half a morning joint.
that duck souffle.
Fucking 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, give it to us at a 6 out of 10.
All right. So no scenario. All right. Are they trying to invade, or are they just like, are they nice?
Oh no. Here's the scenario. They're friendly
Okay.
and they just want to know.
Unless
they're
you say the
curious.
wrong thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have trigger words that
They
it's like talking
could-
to an Asian person. No offense, Asian people, love you, but sarcasm doesn't exist in their language. So when you say something sarcastically, they really think that you mean that. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yes.
okay.
So yeah.
Huh. Well, I would first make sure. would
I
kind
feel
of
like these
de-escalate-
aliens do know sarcasm, though.
Oh, that's fine then. I mean,
They're
you know,
cool. They're cool.
they
You know,
just have
they're
trigger words, so
intelligent.
there might
They've
be
already
things.
watched us for 100 years. You know, they've developed our. They just want to know
And they
What-
texted your phone, and they're
Yep.
not going to text nobody else.
you're the one.
You're the one that has to tell
So
what's
that's
going
that
on.
number. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense now.
I sent him.
Random. So
I said, talk to Rodney.
I would first make sure that the situation's fine, whatever the situation is, that everybody was chill. Just feel that vibe. Just like, hey, everybody calm down, you know, it's cool, whatever it is. And then really just kind of go about just being whatever aid I could be. Because here's the thing. If they're coming to Earth and they're texting me and they're trying to, like, make contact, that's fucking huge, dog. Because, real talk, they may, if they watched us for 100 years and it's the same aliens and they don't really age, that probably tells you they have the cure for cancer or some shit. You feel me?
You're the Messiah
so-
if they do that.
One more time.
You're the Messiah if they come
That's
and
my
they only
fucking
talk to
point.
you.
You know, so
Make
what do
me
you
levitate
do?
in front of these people. I'm gonna
What do you
shit
do?
on.
Exactly. So very much like, you know, the Indians with the pilgrims, depending on the story you're told, but I would teach the aliens to put a fish underneath your corn so that you could harvest more and grow more bountiful corn. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But at the same time,
Okay.
I want a gun. I want a laser gun to fuck with shit, and I want to ride an alien spaceship.
All you gotta do is teach them some shit that you know, and
Yeah.
then start being
Listen,
like, "Yo, can I get a pistol?"
Hey, I
Mhm.
think they would know it. They're just wanting to know, like, do you want to join the Intergalactic Federation?
They text Rodney's phone. They're not here. They text you. You know they're friendly.
They should call
You-
guns
they
brat
text me.
raps.
Do you want to come with us?
Yeah. And,
Hey,
and
do you guys see the picture of the two? You've seen Attack from Mars, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Mars attacks.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you seen them when it's called Broke Ack Mountain?
No.
You Google that. Broke Ack Mountain. That's all you gotta do. Broke Ack Mountain. There you go. You're welcome for that.
And if you look up Brokeback Mountain, you won't be dissatisfied.
I mean, listen, it's a good story. Probably true. I'm good with it. A little bit ahead of its time, but at the same time, brilliant film.
It was, yeah, I actually enjoyed that film.
Yeah. Slower than I wanted it to be, but for what it is and the kind of story, yeah, no, it was a good film.
A little bit rougher than I wanted it to be,
Yeah.
but
You know, I look
Yeah.
like I said, it was a little ahead of its time. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
a little
But
bit.
I feel that if we
That was a
would've,
controversial movie.
one more time.
That was a real controversial
That's
movie.
my point. If we were more tolerant back then, I feel that it would have been a better fit, if you will. But at the same
Yeah.
time, we weren't.
Because if it come out right now, that would be top movie of all time.
100%.
It's
At the
great.
same time, they probably wouldn't start Heath Ledger because he did die in a different movie, or because of So
You're
it's a whole
correct.
different-
You're correct.
But it happened when it happened. It couldn't have happened any other way.
One more thing, one more question, and but first, I want you to plug yourself in and how we can get a hold of you and watch Deliciously Dope.
Absolutely.
Rod?
So, yeah, just hit up Instagram, and in the Instagram profile, there's like a little link tree. That's everything that I'm doing. Deliciously Dope TV is turning into channel 117, so here soon you'll see it
Channel
everywhere.
117.
Exactly, you'll see it everywhere. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:17, 1 o'clock p.m. I start with like the sponsors and a little bit of Plywood Minds that I play before my show. So there is some content to watch there, a few ads and some commercials, and we're adding more to it as we go. But for now, it's just 1 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday, with more coming soon. If you want to look us up on Facebook, Deliciously Dope TV, that'll link you there. Everything is going to be forwarded soon. But yeah, YouTube, Deliciously Dope TV. I mean, we got every little major platform thing. Cannabuzz, we're on that. TikTok, we're on that. Snapchat, I don't know. Instagram's pretty neat. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. I don't know why people would want to use that. That really doesn't make any sense to me. But
No, but Gary Vee says it's the future, so
he's not wrong. But at the same time, what if he is wrong?
it's a risk worth taking, I would think.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, like I've tried to go live on LinkedIn, you gotta like get permission.
Yeah, that is a bummer. The same thing, but
Well,
I
fuck
agree.
you,
I
I
don't
don't wanna do
disagree
it.
with you fully because we have a LinkedIn, but we don't use it because of that reason.
Yeah, that's my point. Like that's why I said I don't know why anybody would want to use that, because how do you get authorized? Can anybody go live? I don't think they fucking can. So until they drop that, LinkedIn's gonna suck.
All right. You say it, Josh.
You want me to say? Okay, so you got one more thing, one last thing to say to the world. What would it be?
I hope you learned something.
Oh,
I like that.
that's a really good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
I think I learned something.
My grandfather and my father had this saying: If a day passes by and you haven't learned anything new, it's a waste of a day.
Facts.
Now, that's my point. And that's why I do the 30-second philosophies, on the show now. That's why I read books. That's why I push to learn.
My uncle one time told me, write 3 things you learned every day down. Every day, write 3 things you've learned. I don't care if it's a new way to wipe your ass. Make sure it's 3 things.
For the record, bidets are the correct answer.
No, fuck that shit.
Dude.
I don't like water shooting up my butthole.
I didn't at first, but there's
Quench
certain
my
levels
thirst
that you can
first
set
time.
that just make it amazing.
Dude, yeah, we drank from our buttholes.
Yeah, it quenched my thirst. The first day I used it quenched my thirst.
It shot up his ass so far he wasn't thirsty.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Oh.
I was thinking like you're using it like a water fountain. I'm like, I guess you can do that.
Look, man, it's for drinking too.
Why are you sitting on the toilet backwards? It's the only way you can do both. I was like, that's not how that works. No.
It's the only way you can do both.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
It was a bad experience, but
Sounds like it.
oh
Sounds
man,
like it.
Thank you for coming in and sitting down with us, bro.
Absolutely, man.
I appreciate
you
it.
hitting me up.
Yeah, and we'll be in contact, bro, and we'll be talking to you all the time. Hopefully, bro. Hopefully, we made a friendship out of this.
Oh, absolutely. I look at it this way. You know where I'm at.
Oh yeah. That's it for episode 82 of Pillar Talk. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day.
Brought to you by Brain Jerk. Fuck yeah.